जय गौरानिताय 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 जय गौरानिताय जय निमाय निताय निमाय निताय निमाय निताय जय निमाय निताय निताय गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल ओ निताय गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल ओ निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल सभी लोग प्रणाम करेंगे। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्कर्ष भय चरण अरविंद भक्त वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की। कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की। नामाचार्य शिलादास ठाकुर की। प्रेम से कहें जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवाचार्य गौर भक्त वृंद की। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरिराज गोवर्धन की। मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की जय। नवदीप मायापुर धाम की जय। पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। गंगा माई की जय। यमुना माई की जय। भक्ति देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय। श्री श्री रुक्मिणी द्वारकाधीश गौ निताय जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी गिरिराज गोवर्धन शुभ संध्या आरती की जय। हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय। निताय 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 गौर प्रेमानंदे। All glories to assembled devotees Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees Hare Krishna. All glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, हरे हरे। डिवोटी जो पीछे हैं आगे आ सकते हैं, आगे आइए, बैठ जाइए। अभी बहुत ही सुंदर कीर्तन यहाँ पे होने जा रहा है। सो हमारे बीच में है वेरी सीनियर डिसाइपल ऑफ हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस एसी भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी प्रभुपाद, हिज ग्रेस अग्निदेव प्रभु। So we are so fortunate that Prabhuji is among us today. By his causeless mercy, he has come to ISKCON Dwarka to give us his precious association. So we are really, really grateful to Prabhuji for his time, for the purification of all of us through his wonderful kirtan. So I'd like to briefly introduce Prabhuji. So His Grace Agnidev Prabhuji, who was born in Trinidad, West Indies, and moved to New York in his youth. And then his studies of Vedic philosophy led him to discover devotional music of West Bengal. And in 1974, he began publicly performing bhajans and kirtan in the traditional Bengali style. And Prabhuji is well known all over the world for his melodious kirtan, for his melodious bhajan. In fact, we see devotees every day hearing bhajans by Prabhuji. So that's really inspirational to see Prabhuji here today among us. And also Prabhuji was initiated by Srila Prabhupada, and he started preaching and singing in USA. He's renowned for his different kirtan, and also Prabhuji sings traditional song with multicultural accompaniment. using both Eastern and Western instrument. In addition to his soul-stirring vocal, he is a master mridanga and harmonium player, and also Prabhuji served as a temple president for several years at ISKCON Laguna Beach Temple and successfully ran his own restaurants. And Prabhuji is now he is full-time serving in the mission of Srila Prabhupada, and he was in 2013 he was appointed as president of local headquarters Shri Radha Gopinath Temple, where he goes out to temple devotees on Harinaam chanting to various locations at least 4 days a week. So that is inspirational for all of us. And today Prabhuji is among us. So we like to welcome Prabhuji from the core of our heart by chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. His Grace Agnidev Prabhu Ji ki, जगत गुरु शिला प्रभुपाद की. सो सारे डिवोटीज मोबाइल बंद कर दीजिए और अपने आप को तैयार कर दीजिए. बहुत ही सुंदर कीर्तन अभी प्रभु जी के द्वारा होने जा रहा है. हरे कृष्ण.
No, you are playing harmonium to accompany me. Okay? Hare Krishna. No. Thank you all for having me here. I think this is the second time. I came here once before. Maybe 2 years ago. No.
कितने डिवोटीज को इंग्लिश समझ नहीं आता? हिंदी में चाहिए. कितने भक्तों को इंग्लिश समझ नहीं आता? ओके, दे आर वेरी फ्यू. आई कैन ट्रांसलेट एट द बैक. पीछे आ जाइए, मैं आपके लिए ट्रांसलेट कर दूंगा. ओके, गो अहेड.
Are you ready? Namayom Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namo Padaya Krishna Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nibishesha Shunyavadi Pastyatya Deshatarine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirbishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Krishna Tanna Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Krishna Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare I'm not feeling cold. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hari Bol. Well, if you know anything about me, you know I like to sing the songs of the Vaishnava Acharyas. So we can sing Gai Gora Madhur Sware. This is a most beautiful song by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And in this song, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is sharing the early pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes are divided into 3 sections: Adi Leela, Madhya Leela, and Antya Leela. This is from the Adi Leela time. This time Mahaprabhu was known as Nimai Pandit. He was a Grihastha, and he began this Sankirtan movement in Navadvip, in Mayapur. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur is describing, this is the beginning of the Sankirtan movement. Mahaprabhu would gather his devotees every morning early. Actually, before he began this Sankirtan, he used to have kirtan every night at the house of Srivas Thakur, Srivas Pandit. But that was by invitation only. Not everybody could attend those kirtans. And they would chant all through the night. People used to come and sit in the courtyard of Srivas Pandit just to hear the sounds coming out from the house. And many wanted to go inside, but they were not allowed. In fact, one Brahmin came banging on the door. "Let me in." So Srivas went to the door and said, "I'm sorry, you cannot enter. This is, I'm just following the orders." He said, "Tell your leader," means Nimai Pandit, "that I live only by drinking milk. I don't take any other food. I live on just taking milk alone, therefore I should be allowed to enter this kirtan." So Srivas said, "You wait here, I will go and tell." So he went and he told Mahaprabhu, "There's a fellow outside, he says he lives only by drinking milk, and therefore he must be allowed to come in." Mahaprabhu told him, "You cannot get Krishna Prem just by drinking milk only." So he was denied. But after some time, Mahaprabhu said, "It is time to take it out to the streets." Because there were many pious people there. They wanted to go in, but they know they cannot barge in, they cannot force their way in. So, but they were patiently waiting. And then Mahaprabhu came out chanting, "Hari Haraya Nama Krishna, Yadavaya Namaha, Gopal Govindaram Sri Madhusudan." And every morning early, he would gather all the devotees while most people were still sleeping. It was just when the sun is beginning to come up. Bhaktivinoda Thakur describes this in another song, "Udilo Aruna, Udilo Aruna Purabhabhage, Dvijamani Gaura Amani, Dvijamani Gaura Amani Jage." So he would take them early, and with the Sankirtan, with Mridangas and Kartals, they went all through the villages and towns. And of course, some people would be awoken by the sound of the kirtan, because they were doing ecstatic kirtan. It was not meditational kirtan, it was ecstatic. They were dancing, chanting, and Mahaprabhu was dancing. He used to have ankle bells on his feet, and as he danced, they were jingling and making a nice sound. So, anyway, let's sing. Gai Gaura Madhur Sware, a little higher. Yeah, one. Yeah. Gai Gaura Madhur Sware, Gai Gaura Madhur Sware, my socks is wet now. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Too high. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Rama, সদা হরি বলে ডাকো গৃহে থাকো মনে থাকো সদা হরি বলে ডাকো সুখে দুঃখে ভুলো নাকো বরণে হরিনাম করো রে নাকো বরণে হরিনাম সুখে দুঃখে ভুলো নাকো বরণে হরিনাম করো রে মায়া জলে বদ হয়ে আছো মিছে কাজলয়ে মায়া জলে বড় হয়ে আছো নিচে কাজলয়ে এখন আছে সোনা পেয়ে রাধা মাধব নাম বলো রে এখন আছে সোনা পেয়ে রাধা মাধব নাম বলো রে জীবন হইল শেষ, না বুঝিলে ঋষিকেশ। জীবন হইল শেষ, না বুঝিলে ঋষিকেশ। Haribol. So, as Mahaprabhu took his Sankirtan party out in the mornings, occasionally he would stop because people would come out of their houses to greet the Sankirtan party. This was a new thing, very new. And Srila Prabhupada, when he came to the West, when he left India, he started accepting devotees, disciples. He would send them out to chant. That's how I became a devotee. I ran into the Sankirtan party in New York City, on 42nd Street. In Manhattan. Now, I knew nothing about Krishna. I'd never heard the name Krishna before. What to speak of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Never heard these words. I didn't know what it is they were singing, but at the same time, the sound was very pleasing to me. They were chanting Hare Krishna, but I thought it's very nice. The madangas and the kartals and the voices, and they were very happy. The devotees were very happy. The newspapers used to write about the devotees in those days. They said the Hare Krishna devotees are bright-faced. They're happy. people didn't understand what it is they're doing, just like I didn't understand, but I liked the sound. Tell that guy to shut up. Who's making the noise out there? And so they invited me to come to the temple, and I was pleasantly surprised. I'd never been inside a temple or nothing. But the experience of that day was wonderful. So I kept coming back every Sunday. They would have what was Srila Prabhupada called a Sunday love feast. When I first heard they said Sunday love feast, I thought, oh, it must be some kind of a hippie gathering. Because in those days, this is in the early 70s, they would, peace and love, and these were common words used by the hippie, that generation of young people. But when I went to the temple, it was completely different. Yet Prabhupada said, call it love feast. So lots of people would come, packed temple room, and there would be kirtan, really wonderful, sweet kirtan. And then one devotee would give a talk from Bhagavad Gita, and then there'd be a fantastic feast. And I'm telling you, the feast in those days was out of this world. Prabhupada had trained a couple devotees how to cook. And he said, now what I show you, you teach the others. So in those days when you went to the temple for the Sunday feast, it would be a minimum 10-course feast. You can't imagine that because you can't get that nowadays, right? Do you have 10-course feast here? No. You'd be lucky to get 5. I've traveled around and I see it, and I said, I would tell the devotees when they served, I said, this is not a feast. This is a meal. It's a meal, it's nice, but feast, there should be at least 10 preparations. And they look at me like I was crazy. But that's the way it was. So we would have all these wonderful preparations. We were told these are Krishna's favorites, like kachoris, samosas, gulab jamins, rasgullas, jalebis, puris, sweet rice. You couldn't get this anywhere else in the world. So I kept coming back every Sunday and I was enjoying it. But I came to the conclusion that although everything is nice, I love the feast, love the kirtan, I love hearing the philosophy, but I would not join because I knew how the devotees lived. And how they lived was very austere. In New York City, they have a very heavy winter. It drops down to 0, very cold. And the temples were so poor. All over in America especially, the temples were poor. They couldn't afford to turn the heat on in the winter. And in those days, they didn't have beds to sleep on. So the devotees just slept on the bare floor. Sometimes I used to think, outside and inside is the same. There's no difference. It's cold outside and it's cold inside. But in spite of that, the devotees were still happy. But I was coming from Trinidad. Trinidad's in the Caribbean, where all the pirates used to hang out. So it was tropical. And that winter in New York, I couldn't imagine living in the ashram like that. So I decided, I'll just keep coming on Sunday, but I will not join, because it's too austere. But after a few months, I went to the temple on Sunday and a devotee told me, "Today is your lucky day." And I said, why do you say today is my lucky day? He said, because Srila Prabhupada's at the airport. His plane just landed and he's coming to the temple and he's going to speak, he's going to give the Sunday talk. So I was happy to hear that, because I thought I'll finally get a chance to hear him, to kind of see why all these devotees are so attached to him. They were so, when they spoke about him, they spoke with affection, with love. And I couldn't understand that, because when I looked at a picture of him, I just saw an old Indian man. And I thought, why are these young Americans so in love with him? What is so special? I had no knowledge. So now he's coming to the temple, I thought, I'll get to hear, and maybe I'll understand why they love him. So Prabhupada came, and he spoke. I went and I sat right close to the Vyasa-san, like right at, because I wanted to hear and see, I wanted to hear everything he had to say. And when he was finished speaking, I knew I had to join. All my reasons for not joining went out the window. It didn't matter anymore. I will just have to tolerate like everybody else. So I joined. And the first person I went home and I told my mother, I said, I'm going to quit my job and I'm going to move into the temple. And my mother started crying. And no boy wants to hear his mother or see his mother cry. But how can I stop her from crying? So in my mind I said a little prayer to Krishna, help me say something to make her stop crying. So an idea came to me and I said, Ma, do you remember before I started going to the temple? She said, yes, I remember very well. She never tried to stop me from going to the temple. She tolerated that, but when I said I wanted to join, I was crossing the line. So I said, you remember when I first started going? And she said, yes, I remember very well. I said, do you know that I was doing all nonsense at that time? Because I was following the crowd, what the young people were doing. It was all nonsense. Intoxication, and so on. She said, I knew you were doing nonsense. I said, really? She said, yes, of course I knew. I said, but you never cried for me. here I was suffering, doing nonsense, trying to be happy, and you never cried for me at that time. Now I want to become a devotee of Krishna. I've given up all my bad habits, and I want to move in the temple, and you're crying. I said, you are crying at the wrong time. And when I put it like that, she understood. She stopped crying. I said, this is no time to cry. You should be happy. Because I want to dedicate my life to serving God. That's not a reason to cry. And she understood it. And she stopped crying. And from that day on, slowly, she became very, what do you call? Favorable. And actually even got to the point of being prouder. She would tell people, my son is a devotee. So, this is the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu going out singing on Sankirtan, he would stop the kirtan when a crowd would come, and in short little sentences he would say something about Krishna consciousness. He would educate the people. He said, this life you have, this can end at any moment. You don't know. It's temporary. And you've got this human form of life, it's very rare. You know? And the purpose of the human life is to worship Radha and Krishna. And if you do this, and how do you worship Radha and Krishna? You chant Hare Krishna, like we are doing. And he said that if you do this, you chant Jaya Radha Madhava, then there'll be no more troubles. All your troubles will go away. So Mahaprabhu preached like that, very simple, no big philosophy. Actually, Srila Prabhupada said, only when he met highly intelligent persons, like when he went to Puri, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he was the greatest logician of India, which meant he was the greatest logician anywhere. You know, then he would speak philosophy. Or when he went to Benares and he met Prakashananda Saraswati, big Mayavad sannyasi. This man was so big, he had 10,000 sannyas disciples. Mahaprabhu converted him and all his followers. So for such people, Mahaprabhu would speak philosophy. But for everybody else, he kept it simple. Just chant Hare Krishna and dance, and when you're tired, take prasadam. So that's what Prabhupada, how he preached in America and around the world. It was actually very simple. And we joined. And gradually, by reading his books, we learned the philosophy. So, this is, as I said, the beginning of this Sankirtan movement. Mahaprabhu, out of compassion, he came to this world in another song by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he said, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Jive Doya Kori Swaparshada Sriya Dhama Saha Avatari. He brought his Dham, the Navadvip Dham, to this planet. Just like Krishna when he comes, Vrindavan Dham comes. Navadvip Dham exists in Goloka. Yes. He comes from there. And so, we're fortunate to take birth so close to when he appeared, just 500 years ago. That's not a long time. 500 years is like yesterday. It's easy to relate to. When Krishna appeared, it was 5,000 years. That's a little hard to relate to. Our brains cannot conceive of 5,000 years. But 500 years, yes. So Mahaprabhu came to deliver us. And this chanting of Hare Krishna, it's not material. It comes from Goloka. Narottam Das Thakur has sung Golokera Premadan Harinaam Sankirtan. That's where it comes from. And it's in Mayapur, one year Prabhupada said, this song is not a material song, it's not a cinema song, it's not Bollywood song. He said, this is a song for developing love of God. This was news to our ears to hear this. That just by chanting Hare Krishna, we can revive our original consciousness. We can revive our dormant love of God. Okay? Another mic? Ooh. You all can hear me? You were hearing me before? Yes. Can you hear me? Really? If this was working, why are you changing to this? Me? I move.
Are you comfortable with this one or this one?
It doesn't matter, really. I just want to know if it works, why you want to fix it. We'll chant Hare Krishna for a little bit, and then we'll sing another song. Oh, yes. Right now? Yes. When I joined the temple in New York City, this is 1972, there was one devotee in the temple, a grihastha, And he lived across the street from the temple with his wife, and he had a little boy. And his name was Gopal Krishna, Prabhu. He was the only devotee that had a job. He was working outside. But the unique thing about him is his paycheck, as soon as he got it, he gave it to Prabhupada. All of it. He didn't take anything for himself. I think he was working for either Coca-Cola or Pepsi-Cola, and he had it was a big position. But he was so surrendered. He would come every morning, before going to work, he would come in the temple dressed in a suit and tie. Anyway, I got to know him then, and over the years I would see him, I'd meet him in India, in Mayapur or Vrindavan, or he used to go to Canada. That was part of his responsibility, you know, as a GBC. I met him there too. And from the beginning, when he was a householder, all the way, one thing stood out more than anything else was his humility. He was doing such big service, but he remained humble. Actually, after a few years in New York, Prabhupada told him to come to India. And when he got to India, at that time, in fact, in 1977, I came to Delhi, and there was only one temple in Delhi. It was a house. And Prabhupada made him in charge as GBC for Delhi. And Prabhupada told him, this New Delhi is so big, it has so many people, it can have at least 15 temples. And he made that his, he took his mission. And he actually he didn't just rent houses like the first temple, but he built all these big, beautiful temples. And like I said, he was doing all of this in such a big way. Devotees just they were looking in awe. Yesterday evening we went to Rohini, and that's like a palace. Really. It's so incredibly opulent, beautiful. So he was just going along, fully engaged in Krishna service. And then when Krishna wanted to bring him back, he took him back. There's no doubt after that where he was going, because he lived only for serving Krishna. Some of you here, I'm sure, are disciples of Maharaj, right? This is one of the temples in his area. So he left, but he left some service for you all to do. That's what they do. One sannyasi asked Prabhupada, he said, Prabhupada, I read that Bhaktivinoda Thakur made a statement that he's leaving but his work is undone, it's not finished. He said, how are we to understand that? And Prabhupada said, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he could have finished it, he could have done everything. He was a Mahabhagavad. But he left some service for us to do. So, it's not all finished, so you can just relax. No. Don't think like that. You have service to do. After all, this movement is a Sankirtan movement. So, all right. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Stand for a minute. Help me out.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hari Bol. Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Rama Rama, Hare. Hari Bol. Oi. How about Hari Hari Bipale? Hari Hari Bipale Janama Goainu Janama Goainu Hari Hari Bipale Janama Goainu Goainu Manusha Janama Paya Radha Krishna Nabadiya Manusha Janama Paya Radha Krishna Nabadiya Janya Shunya Bisha Kainu Jania Shunya Bisha Kainu Golokera Premadana Harinaam Sankirtana Golokera Premadana Harinaam Sankirtana Ratina Jan Milokene Tai Ratina Jan Milokene Tai Sangsara Bishanale Dibanishi Yajole Sangsara Bishanale Dibanishi Yajole Juraite Nakainu Yupai Juraite Nakainu Yupai Brajendranan Danajai Sachi Sutta Oilo Sei Brajendranan Danajai Sachi Sutta Oilo Sei Balaram Hoilo Nitai Balaram Hoilo Nitai Dina Hina Jato Chilo Hariname Yudarilo Dina Hina Jato Chilo Hariname Yudarilo Tara Shaki Jagai Madai Tarashaki Jagai Madai. Aha Prabhu Nanda Sutta Vrishabhanu Sutta Juta. Aha Prabhu Nanda Sutta Vrishabhanu Sutta Juta. Koruna karo hoye baro. Koruna karo hoye baro. Narottama dasa koin nateli arangapai. Narottama dasa koi nateli arangapai. Tumabina ke ache amaro. Tumabina ke ache amaro. Hari Hari Bipale Janama Goainu. Hari Hari Bipale Janama Goainu. Goainu. Haribol. So this is a most beautiful song sung by Srila Narottam Das Thakur. And actually Prabhupada was asked one time what was his favorite bhajan, and he said Hari Hari Bipale. So when I heard that, I thought I have to learn this song. It's a song about lamentation, but it's not like the kind of lamentation that goes on in the material world. We're always hankering after something material, and if we get it, inevitably we lose it. We can't keep it. Either it's something or even a person. So Krishna says in the Gita, don't hanker and don't lament. Nasochati na kangshati. But this kind of lamentation that Narottam Das Thakur is doing, this kind of lamentation means purification. If we can lament like him, we'll be purified. So he says, Hari Hari Bipale Janama Goainu Manusha Janama Pai Radha Krishna Nabojiya Janyashuniya Bishakainu. He laments, my dear Lord, I've wasted my life. So I've got this human form of life which is very rare to get. Bhaktivinoda Thakur has sung Durlabha Manava Janama. It's rarely that you get a human body. We learned that there are 8,400,000 different species of life, and of them the human species are in the smallest group. The Fish is a much bigger group. Birds, bigger group. And different animals, bigger group. So it's rare. And when we get this rare human form of life, we don't know what to do with it. It's a great opportunity. It's an opportunity that if we can use to get out of the material world once and for all and never come back. That is the purpose of human life. The Vedanta Sutra tells us, Atato Brahma Jigyasa. Now is the time to inquire about Brahma, to inquire about spirit, because you are that. You are spirit. Right now, 99% of the world thinks that they're matter. They think they're this body. But this is ignorance. Krishna makes it clear, we are not these bodies. That's the first instruction he gave to Arjuna. He said, you're not this body. Because, as you know from Gita, when Arjuna, Krishna had agreed to become his chariot driver for the battle of Kurukshetra. Krishna says, I cannot take sides, I cannot fight, because both sides I'm related to them. So I can't fight. I'll not pick up a weapon, but I can drive your chariot. And Arjuna said, I'll be happy if you drive my chariot. There's an old saying, if God's on your side, you can't lose. It's true. So Arjuna knew that, if Krishna is on my side, even though he's not fighting, I'll be victorious. Arjuna, so Krishna agreed to drive his chariot, and when Arjuna asked Krishna to take my chariot down the middle, armies are gathered and facing each other. This is just moments before the battle begins. And he says, drive it down here, I want to see who's on the other side, who we have to fight. And Krishna could understand Arjuna's mind. So, and Arjuna addressed Krishna as Achyuta. He said, you are agreeing to drive my chariot, but you are Achyuta. You never fall down from your position. You're still, whether Krishna is being the servant of driving the chariot is like a chauffeur. So Arjuna says, hey Achyuta, drive me down the middle, let me see. And Krishna said, yes sir. And he take the chariot down the middle, and he stops right in front of Bhishma and Drona. These are the two people that Arjuna had the most respect for, the most regard for. Bhishma was his grandfather, and Drona was his guru, his teacher, who taught him, to fight, taught him how to be able. He became the greatest archer. So when Arjuna saw them, he was shocked. He came to fight, but when he saw who's on the other side, he turned to Krishna and he said, I don't think this is a good idea. I want to go back to the palace. And Krishna wouldn't have that. So, he preached Bhagavad Gita to him and turned his head around. So, human life is meant for understanding, for self-realization, to understand what we are, who we are, and what is the purpose of life. If you pick 100 people in the streets and ask them, "My dear sir or madam, what do you think is the purpose of life?" You'll get 100 different answers. But they don't know. They're not educated in this spiritual understanding. Somehow or other we are fortunate to come to Krishna consciousness, and this is higher education. We are here for a higher education. You can get a lower education in the universities, but you'll never know who you are and what is the purpose of life, because they don't teach it. Sometimes I tell people in preaching, we are educated fools from uneducated schools. Yes. We are educated fools from uneducated schools because they don't know. They're not giving you the proper education. Once Prabhupada went to big university in America, and after his lecture he asked for questions, but somehow the students were a little shy to raise their hand and ask a question. So Prabhupada said, "Well, I have a question for you all." He said, "Is there a department in this establishment, this university, that teaches about the soul?" And they said, "No, sir." He said, "We are teaching about that." So, as I said, educated fools from uneducated schools. After going through so many years of schooling, university, they come out and you ask them, "My dear sir or madam, who are you?" They'll say, "What kind of a question is that?" "This is me." I said, "No, that's not you. That's your body. But who are you?" And they're bewildered. After years of learning and studying, in these universities, and there are thousands of universities in America. India, I'm sure, has thousands also. Right? All around the world. You can study about anything. You can study what is a grain of sand and devote lots of time to understanding what is a grain of sand. But who you are, nothing. So if you don't know who you are, how can you be happy? You don't know what is your best interest. So, life is for learning. Vedanta Sutra says, now is the time. What time? Human time. In the other species of life, you could not inquire. The animals don't inquire, who am I? They just The dog thinks I'm a dog. Now, of course, he doesn't know what is the meaning of a dog. We give him that name. Humans. We say, he's a dog, he's a cat. And they just act according to the body. They act according to the body, but they don't know who they are. Only in human life you can know, because Vedas is there. Vedas are given by Vyasadeva. You get complete knowledge. Srimad Bhagavatam, Prabhupada, this is the cream of all the Vedic literature, Srimad Bhagavatam. And Prabhupada labored very hard to give us Srimad Bhagavatam. And he said, if you read Srimad Bhagavatam, 12 cantos, you'll have more knowledge than any MA, PhD in the university. It's a fact. Because they don't teach about consciousness. They don't teach about the soul. There's a nice story I heard in India. One man sent his son to Benares to get an education, because Benares was a seat of learning. It's famous for thousands of years, a place to learn. So the son went to Benares. After some time he comes back home, and his father said, "Did you get an education?" He said, "Yes, father." "What books did you study?" So he starts naming different books. And then the father said, "You didn't study Srimad Bhagavatam?" He said, "No, I don't think we didn't study that book." He said, "Go back. Go back to Benar. And if you haven't studied Srimad Bhagavatam, your education is incomplete." So he went back, and after some time he studied, he came back. Father said, "So did you study Srimad Bhagavatam?" "Yes, Father. And I understand why you sent me back. I think you could burn all the other books, and if you have Srimad Bhagavatam, you're not missing anything." So Father said, "So you understand Srimad Bhagavatam?" "Yes." He said, "Go back." Go back to Benares. So he goes back, and he comes back after some time. And Father said, "So, you studied Srimad Bhagavatam again?" He said, "Yes, Father. And I understand why you sent me back." He said, "So you understand Srimad Bhagavatam?" "Yes, Father." He said, "Go back again." And you better get it right this time. So he goes back to Benares. That's the third time. When he comes back, his father said, "You studied Srimad Bhagavatam?" He said, "Yes, Father." He said, "And do you understand Srimad Bhagavatam?" He said, "No, Father, I cannot understand Srimad Bhagavatam." He said, "Now you've understood Srimad Bhagavatam." So, Narottam Das Thakur is telling us, I knew what was the right thing to do. Janya Shunya Bisha Kainu. Especially if you're born in India, Bharat, Varsha, you have heard, the wisdom of Vedas is, everybody knows something. So Narottam says, I knew what was the right thing to do. I knew I should have worshipped Radha and Krishna. but I didn't do it. He said, therefore, I've been drinking poison knowingly. Means I'm committing suicide. If you don't know, and you don't worship Radha and Krishna, if you don't know anything, that's different than if you know and don't do it. And how many times in our life we know what is the right thing to do and we don't do it? Do any of you make that mistake? Ever? Yes, we all do. So Narottam says, I knew what I should do, but I didn't do it. Therefore I've been drinking poison knowingly. But it's not hopeless. It's not a hopeless situation, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, and they've brought this Mahamantra, Golokera Premadan Harinaam Sankirtan. And it's so easy, not difficult, to chant. Mahaprabhu says, you chant this mantra, and in the Kali Yuga, which we are living in this age, this is the greatest boon. In Bhagavatam, Sukadev Goswami, he tells the king, Parikshit Maharaj, he only had 7 days to live, he was cursed to die, and Sukadev Goswami tells him, he said, Kali Yuga is an ocean of faults. Means everything's bad. Ocean of faults. Kale doshani de rajan asti hekam mahad guna. He said, it's full of bad qualities. But there's one good thing about Kali Yuga. Kirtana deva Krishnasya mukta sangha parambaje. Just by doing Krishna kirtan, you can become a mukta. You can become liberated. So, Bhagavatam recommends it. Puranas recommend it, different Puranas. Upanishad recommends it. Everything. We have good reason to take up the chanting. I meet people and I said, we are not chanting whimsically. We have good reason to chant. Prabhupada has given us so many good reasons why we should chant. Prabhupada he was always preaching. Even when he went for a morning walk, devotees would accompany him. That was that was like class. It was an opportunity to get more knowledge, because Prabhupada was just constantly preaching. And one devotee said, what Prabhupada was doing was breaking our faith in the material leaders, because we think that they have our best interests, but they don't. So Prabhupada was always, smashing the scientists, the philosophers. He was breaking our faith in them. Said, put your faith in Srimad Bhagavatam. So, It's not a hopeless situation, although it looks pretty bad. We're sitting now here very peacefully, but in other parts of the world, war is going on. Right? Russia, Ukraine, somewhere else too. Yes, Israel and Palestinian. That's close by. It can filter over into India. People are reading the newspaper, watching the television, and they're in anxiety. Oh, what's going to happen? But devotees, we're not in anxiety about it, because we are chanting Hare Krishna. Okay? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hari Bol. Time? Well, you all have to forgive me. I'd like to stay and chant more, but we are going back to Gurugram. And tomorrow morning early, I'm heading to Vrindavan. So, but this was a wonderful evening. I'm especially thankful our Madanga players and the harmonium players. Let's not forget them. But all of you, you're all so enthusiastic to chant and dance. And that enlivens me. So it's what does Krishna say, Bodhayantas parasparam. Devotees enliven one another by hearing and chanting about me, Krishna says. So, if we do this, then there's no anxiety. It becomes Vaikuntha. Prabhupada used to say, this temple is not in LA or New York or London or anywhere. He says, or Dwarka even. He said, it's Vaikuntha. It means no anxiety. And no anxiety, you will experience that by chanting and dancing together. Whenever we went to the temple, it was a spiritual experience. Especially when Prabhupada was, if he came to a temple. I was in New York when he came, twice. Then I moved to Los Angeles and he came twice. And then I saw him in 1977 in Mayapur. And then Mayapur was, you know. But just by his presence, we all got lifted. You know, we got lifted by his presence, by his katha. Because it was only Krishna katha. No talk about what's going on in the material world. So, if we do that, that's Vaikuntha. Okay? So thank you again for having me here. Every time I come to Delhi, Danvi will bring me here. Okay? Haribo. They want to hear what? Oh. See, they've been hearing things about me. Briefly, I'll tell this story. I was in Los Angeles and Prabhupada came, and the president, we all went to the temple. This was long before, what do you call, 9/11. After 9/11, everything changed. Before 9/11, when Prabhupada was coming, Krishna had arranged it all. When Prabhupada came to an airport, there was a festival at the airport. We would all go, hundreds of devotees, and go all the way up to the gate where he's coming off the plane. And as he came through the door, we would start kirtan. And we would escort him all the way through the airport to the sidewalk where there was a car waiting for him. And the devotees would be throwing flower petals in front of him to walk on. And he was so happy to see how happy we were. Anyway, this one time, I'll tell. One time Prabhupada came, and when he came through the door, he sat down on a chair, and there was some press, you know, reporters and stuff like that. Devotees had invited them to come and meet him. So while the press was there, Prabhupada took one or two questions, and then one man, he raised his hand, and he was a worker in the airport, like to keep the airport clean. So he came to the front so he could tell Prabhupada. He wanted to complain. He said, "You people, you come here in the airport and you throw flower petals all over the ground and then you go away and leave it there. I have to clean it up." And he was angry, Prabhupada looked at him. And when this Prabhupada looked at somebody, his eyes were transcendental. And Prabhupada said, "You don't like flowers?" And the man, he was totally bewildered by that. He just turned around and walked away. Because what could he say? He wouldn't say, "I don't like flowers." If he did, then Prabhupada said, "Then what can we do? You don't like flowers." So Prabhupada was expert at handling the situation. So as he's coming out, I started leading kirtan because the president of the temple asked me to. And before I was thinking, what will I sing? I know I was going to chant Hare Krishna, but I was trying to think, what melody should I chant Hare Krishna to? And in those days, we only knew about 6 melodies. And anywhere you went in the world, you would hear those 6 melodies, nothing more. So I was thinking, what will I chant? Now, I had never heard anybody say, this melody is Prabhupada's favorite melody, or Prabhupada likes this melody. We never heard that. But there was one of the 6 melodies, when I was a new devotee, one brahmachari told me, this is Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati's favorite melody. And I thought, how do you know that? But this was common knowledge, that Bhaktisiddhanta liked this one melody. So I thought, well, I don't know what's Prabhupada's favorite melody, but if I sing this melody, I'm sure he would like it, because it's his Guru Maharaj's melody. So as Prabhupada's coming down the aisle, I'm leading kirtan. First I sing his pranam mantras, then I sing Panchatattva mantra, and just as the devotees are responding to the Panchatattva mantra, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhupada passed me. And as he passed me, I got behind him, because as he's coming down the line, when he passes everybody, they get behind. So then almost everybody is behind him. So as I got behind him, just as they finished responding, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, I went into that melody, Hare Krishna. And when I was halfway through the mantra, the first half, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Before I could get to Harinaam, Prabhupada stopped, and he had a cane he was walking with. And he stopped and he turned around and he looked me dead in my eyes. And then he had a big smile on his face. And with his head, he said, "Come on." And the devotees were like, we all went in ecstasy just for that little thing. But just to know that it was mystical, because I didn't tell anybody what I'm going to sing. This was just in me. But Prabhupada knew. And therefore he stopped and turned around and accepted it and appreciated it. So that didn't just make my day, it made my life. You see? So we'll do a couple mantras of this melody. Gosh. No, my mind is blank. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you very much.
Haribo! So that was really, really amazing kirtan and katha by Prabhuji. It was so amazing. मुझे अभी पता लगा एक बहुत ही विशेष बात प्रभु जी के रिगार्डिंग. एक्चुअली प्रभु जी न्यूयॉर्क टेम्पल में थे और उस समय प्रभु जी गौर आरती गा रहे थे. तो उसी समय लता मंगेशकर भी वहीं पे आई थी. तो जब उन्होंने सुना प्रभु जी गौर आरती गा रहे हैं, she was so much impressed, इतना इम्प्रेस हो गई वो कि उन्होंने प्रभु जी को ऑफर किया, आप बॉम्बे आओ, वहाँ आप बॉलीवुड को लिए गाने गाओ. सो प्रभु जी ने तुरंत रिफ्यूज कर दिया. प्रभु जी ने बोला मैं केवल कृष्ण के लिए और गुरु के प्रसन्नता के लिए ही गाता हूँ. So we are so much indebted to Prabhuji for such a wonderful association we got today. So we'd like to request Prabhuji to please kindly visit Dwarka again and again so that we can get your association, and that is really a food for us as a soul, and really grateful to Prabhuji. So let's express our gratitude to Prabhuji by chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And here is a small token of gratitude to Prabhuji from ISKCON Dwarka this. So really grateful to you, Prabhuji.
This also?
Yes. So thank you so much, Prabhuji, and also we are also grateful to Danvir Nitai Prabhuji, who came along with Prabhuji, and he took part, and also he was the so let's express our gratitude to Danvir Prabhu as well by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. His Grace Agnidev Prabhu Ji ki, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande.